Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Obsidian Achievement. This is your host, Mike Russin. Thank you for joining me today. And if you guys could do me a favor, please just share the episode if it makes an impact. I love your feedback that you share with me personally. That means the world to me. That's more important than anything. But if it also, if you could, if it makes an impact in your life in some way, shape, or form, please share it. We're on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. We're on YouTube now. So just whatever mode you can, it makes a world of difference when you guys share this and get the message out to people. So, all right, let's get into it. Pressure and heat. Pressure and heat. Pressure creates diamonds and it bursts pipes. Heat, the same boiling water that softens the potato, hardens the egg, right? So we think about a diamond, right? This beautiful, that's what you put on your girl's finger when you go to make a lifetime commitment to her, right? It's such a beautiful rock, gemstone. It's incredible, right? So you see this beautifully refined product, but what you don't see is in the earth, it is crushed and molded by immense heat and pressure, and then they take it out of the earth, and you know what happens next? It gets cut. So there's heat, there's pressure, and then the diamond is mined, and then it's cut, and then polished, and then you see that polished and beautiful product, right? So again, heat and pressure crushes and softens many materials on earth. But it hardens, refines, and beautifies others. So my question to you today is, what are you made of? What are you made of? You know, you can talk tough all you want. You can pretend like you're the man or you're the woman or you're the shit, but at the end of the day, until you've been exposed to massive amounts of pressure and heat, you haven't proven anything to the world. Like how you respond and persevere through trials and tribulations is what makes you or breaks you as a person. That's what's either going to make your future incredible and unfathomably amazing, or it's what's going to crush your dreams before they even get out of the gate. Like how you respond to heat and pressure in your life dictates the outcome. Like E plus R equals O. We've talked about this before. Event plus response equals outcome. We cannot control the event, but we can certainly control our response. And by controlling our response, we can dictate the outcome. We can create the outcome. But for many people, 99% of people, they are unwilling or unable completely to control their response because heat and pressure melts them, it softens them up, and it crushes them. People don't have the internal fortitude to deal with life's curveballs, uppercuts. Like, Mike Tyson says it best, man. Like, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Like when life punches you in the mouth, how do you respond? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't go into business with people as a partner until I've seen this person suffer and suffer well. Until I've seen this person respond to obstacles and adversities and keep pushing and not just get through it, but become better because of it. That's a key. That is a very key point that I need to make right here and pause and put a pin in, is that it's not just enough to go through it, although that's great. It's, do you get better through it? Do you learn the lessons? Because if you just go through it and persevere, but you learn nothing, you're going to end right back up in that situation again. You're going to make the same mistake, or you're not going to learn the lesson. And what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself in that dirty, nasty situation again. You're going to find yourself under the same heat, the same pressure again. And if you don't learn, it's going to happen again and again and again until it breaks you. You need to start to learn. It's not enough to just persevere. Everybody talks about perseverance, and then they end the conversation. It's not enough to just persevere. You have to persevere and learn. Like, what are you made of? I feel like you either got it or you don't. I don't know if I can teach you how to not be a pussy. I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know if I could teach. I don't know if maybe, I think that maybe one way, now that I'm thinking, again, this is just a stream of consciousness, is like start to expose yourself to suffering that you choose. Working out, physically suffering in the gym, ice cold showers, ice baths. Like, I'm just spitballing here. Like, the more that you choose intentional suffering, the more that you're able to go through the unintentional suffering in life. That's one way to not be soft. That's one way to harden yourself, is by putting yourself through your own made challenges and obstacles that challenge your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's one way you can cultivate this. But at the same time, I just feel like certain people just got it. Like, if you take a lion and it's born in captivity, you still have to lock that lion up. You still got to be very careful around that lion. Like, even if it was born in captivity, it's never killed anything before, it's never been in the jungle or the plains, it's just born in captivity, coddled its whole life, it's still a dangerous wild animal. Why? Because of its instincts, because of what it's made of in its heart. You know, people are revealed to the world through their suffering. Suffering reveals your character to the world. How you handle setbacks and obstacles and adversities reveals your character to the world. You can say all you want that you are a certain way, or that you're tough, or you're a man of your word, or a woman of your word, or that you're whatever. But until you've suffered and displayed outward fortitude and through internal fortitude outwardly, like, you can't say that you're all that in a bag of frickin' chips, as the saying goes. As ridiculous as it is, until you've been through some shit and persevered the right way. Because you know what most people do? Things start not going their way. They turn to the bottle, they turn to the pills, they turn to the alcohol, they turn to the Netflix, they turn to the mind-numbing scrolling, and they do no self-development. They start to engage in self-destruction, and they make their problems even worse. They exacerbate their problems because they're trying to hide from them. It's like the buffalo, it's like the bison out the plains, like cows, like regular cows. When a storm's coming, if they're able to free roam, they'll run from the storm. And what happens is they end up getting rained on longer because they end up running with the storm. You ain't going to outrun it. So now it's just you're running and you're just getting rained on for hours, right? The bison, on the other hand, they feel that storm coming, they turn around and they run through the storm. Many of you have avoidance issues when it comes to problems. Uncomfortable conversation. You put it off, you put it off, you put it off. You need to have an uncomfortable conversation with your wife or your spouse or your husband. You put it off, you put it off, you put it off. You need to have an uncomfortable conversation at work with an employee or an employer. You put it off, you put it off, you put it off. You got to have an uncomfortable conversation about money with somebody. You put it off, you put it off, you put it off. You got to tell the truth about something. You put it off, you put it off, you put it off. You got to handle something with, you got a debt to settle, you put it off, you put it off, you put it off. Like, people put shit off constantly and they think that they're avoiding having to deal with the problem. In fact, they're just making it worse. You're just making it worse. The way I look at problems is think about it this way. It's like a growing life form. And the faster I get to that problem and solve it, the faster I snuff the life out of it. But for some of you, you let your problems grow into monsters. And then what some of you morons will do is you'll blame it on wherever the planets are in the sky. Oh, I'm just such a Capricorn. This is just, no, you're an idiot. You keep putting off, if it isn't I love that saying, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, right? If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. People are lazy and afraid of pain and conflict, so they put problems off. They never deal with them face to face. and they exacerbate the issue. It ends up being way worse than what it could have been if you just snuffed the life out of it. That's how I want you to start thinking about problems from now on out, is I want you to think about it as a growing cancerous life form, and the sooner you take care of it, boom, the sooner you snuff the life out of it and you never got to deal with it again. Have the uncomfortable conversation, deal with the debt, like whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life. Like same thing, people will look at themselves in the mirror. I heard this from a guy the other day. He's like, man, I just look at myself and I used to be in the gym all the time and now I'm like fat. I'm afraid to go in because I know all my weights are going to be down and I know the weight's going to be up on the scale when I step on it and this and that. I know I'm going to be out of breath and I know it's going to be painful at first and I know I'm going to get discouraged. So I've been putting it off for month after month and he's just getting fatter and fatter and more unhealthy. And you know what's going to happen is that eventually is going to turn into an irreversible health problem. Where right now or 2 months ago, it was very reversible. Stop running from shit your entire life. 90%, 99% of society lives in a constant state of fight or flight, and it's mostly flight. They're always flying. They're always running like stupid lemmings from everything. Where you need to turn around and handle your problems like a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman. Stop running from things and start dealing with them immediately. The world will pay you for solutions. The more problems you can solve, not just in your own life, but in other people's lives, the more money you're going to make. Like if you want to know how to make, here's a very simple solution. Mike, how do I make 6 figures? I'll tell you how. Find a problem that other people are dealing with and then find a way to solve it for them and they will pay you for it. For me, one of my companies, my recruiting company, the problem is life insurance managers need agents to sell life insurance, okay, for their bonuses, for the growth of their organization, and that's a problem. So I solve it by providing them with trainees. It's that simple. And let me tell you something, I'm not bragging or boasting or anything like this, but I started this company 6-7 weeks ago, and it's already doing, it's going to be doing by July, $80,000 a month. This is about to be in its first year, $1 million a year company. And by next year, it'll be a $5 million a year company. Watch. Because it's not difficult to make money. I'll tell you what's difficult. Not making money is more difficult than making money. You got to change your mindset. There's trillions of dollars out there. There is an abundance of opportunities. There's an abundance of success to be had and shared, but you got this bullshit scarcity mindset holding you back because you're publicly educated. You were talked down to your whole life. Your parents were small thinkers. You learned from a teacher who makes $30,000 a year on paper and drives a 2001 Subaru Outback with a fucking coexist sticker on it and parks it next to the dumpster. That's who you learn from. And you wonder why you don't know how to think properly. You need to retrain yourself. You need to retrain yourself on how to think about everything. And the way that you do that is you listen to and study and read people who live or have lived lives that you wish to emulate. There are books, podcasts. Now, information is so easily accessible that if you're not making 6 figures a year right now, shame on you. Shame on you. Excuses. You know what the problem with excuses is? You can't fucking deposit excuses in the bank account. You can't. Now that's going to blow some of your minds. You can have excuses and you can have results. You can have excuses or you can have money. The problem is with excuses is you can't deposit those. My whole career that took me 10 years to build got flipped on its head, and within 6 weeks, I created $1 million business, $1 million a year business in 6 weeks. What's your excuse? There is none. There is no excuse. You got to find a way to win. You got to dig deep and find a way to win. I'm telling you right now, there's no excuse. So I know I'm getting in your guys' butts today, and I know I'm intense and I'm getting fired up, but listen, I want to wake you up. I want to break this bullshit paradigm of weak-ass, broke thinking that you've got going on in your head and teach you to level up in your life. And you can't do that without a series of uncomfortable conversations. So I want you guys all to start to think about it right now. What am I made out of? How do I react to heat and pressure? That's number one. That's thought exercise number one. How do I react to heat and pressure? You know how you know? You go back in stressful situations in your life and look at the outcome and how you reacted. Very simple. Like, did you make things better or worse? Okay, if you made them worse, you're soft. If you made them better, you're hard. Good for you. The second thing I want you to think about is, if you're not currently making six figures, why not? What's your excuse? And what problems can you use your skills to solve that people will pay you for? And then I really want you to think about, who are you reading and studying and listening to? Who are you reading and studying and listening to and allowing to influence your train of thought? All right? It's 15 minutes. Let's get it. Come on, let's zone in. Listen to this episode a couple of times. Share this if it makes an impact on you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Let's get it. I love you. Peace.